Merry Christmas, everyone. But you know what? Just being real. Christmas just isn't what it used to be. You know what I mean? Remember that magical feeling you had as a kid? After you'd spent weeks counting down the days to the big morning when you could finally open up those presents? Remember that? The euphoria was unmatched. As a kid, nothing was as important as Christmas. And back then, you couldn't even begin to imagine the sheer novelty of that day would ever fade. But inevitably, you hit your teen years, eventually you get your first job, and then suddenly, you can buy whatever you want, within reason, right when you get paid. You don't have to wait weeks or months anymore, and before you know it, Christmas, it kind of loses that magic. Well, last year, my personal Christmas traditions went through a couple of changes. After years and years, I finally decided it was time to start doing for me. No longer was I going to put myself in situations that cause me anxiety, make me uncomfortable just to make distant people happy. Christmas is supposed to be about positive things. It's supposed to be a great day filled with nothing but good vibes and zero negativity. So I made the personal decision that moving forward, I'm going to be spending the holiday at home, where things make sense. And in freeing myself of certain headaches, I also decided to make Christmas special again. To recapture that childlike feeling and actually look forward to the holiday. Enjoy the season, rather than sort of dreading it and wishing it all away. And the way to do that was to go retro. So I thought of the kind of presents that I asked for Christmas back then as a kid. You know, the ones that really made me giddy. Figures, Nintendo games, and also one gift that I didn't get. And that was very important. So I decided to get myself some gifts that I know 8-year-old me would have gone crazy for. Wrap them up myself, stick them under the tree, and make myself wait till Christmas Day to open them, knowing full well what was already in them, which actually just made the anticipation even worse. It made the waiting even more intense, recapturing that old spirit. And of course, you know, the whole thing sounded kind of silly at first. It's one of those things that sounded fun to kind of think about, but to actually do it, But once I sat and thought about it, honestly, I was like, why the hell not? I'm going to decorate my place, get my own gifts, make my own food, and have myself a retro Christmas with zero negativity. We shot this stuff exactly 1 year ago today, and honestly, I wasn't sure what, if anything, I'd ever do with that material. But because it was such a great day, I wanted to share it with you now in case you happen to be someone who does things a little bit differently, or maybe we just share a common bond and that we're both 80s kids and we can't help but appreciate where we came from. Either way, hope everyone's having a nice holiday. Merry Christmas.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to toast for hosting marshmallows for toasting and caroling out in the snow. It's the happiest season of all. Caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting marshmallows for toasting and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of
I'm gonna chop you into itty bitty little pieces, my friend. Ain't I make the best goddamn stew in the whole wide world?
Best goddamn stew in the whole wide world.
Where the damn presents?
To me, from me. Because that's the best way to do it. It is not a game when I rap. Well, I always said I was going to get myself an IROC Z someday. Didn't let myself down. Here it is. Yeah, badass. Hope we got enough garage space for it. Man, this is the one. This is the one where every time I looked under that tree and I saw this package with these dimensions, knowing exactly what's in here. Because if you're an 80s kid, you know there's only one thing that can be in this box. It's an NES game. Taking a line from Master Shake.
It's my gift to me, from me, for being such a good boy this year. You see what I'm saying?
All right, well,
Whoa.
I'm going to the mall.
Actually, a little hesitant to open it. It's like, I just am savoring this moment because this is the excitement when I was a kid, knowing that there was a brand new game in here for that magical Nintendo Entertainment System. I almost don't want to open it, but it's Christmas, so gotta do it. Oh boy. There she is. Wow. That's it, man. Look at that. Brand new Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. Well, the box is a reprint, but pretty damn good one. Out of each thing that's been wrapped, this is the one. Like, I just got goosebumps. Legit. And also ironic, I made this complete in-box display, whatever you want to call it, for much, much cheaper than anything else that's under that tree. Yeah, now the lid just got a little warp, but it's part of the experience, is it not? Got our genuine Nintendo dust cover with the old school logo. Got the instruction manual. And most important piece. Never ever been ashamed to say one of my favorite video games of all time. Right here. And just holding it in my hand, like this complete version with the box. Yeah. This puts me back in the feels. Straight up. Oh man. That's great. I can hear 1988 calling. Yeah, let's write in our high scores. Oh, man, that's awesome. We're gonna have to fire up some Simon's Quest here in a little bit. Oh, I love it. This next one, very significant because this is something I wanted in my childhood and I never got it. So I have never, ever owned what's in this box. I asked for it one year, probably like 87, something like that. And to be honest, I can't remember what my parents said. I know back then it was kind of confusing if you weren't familiar with the series and the figures to find all the pieces to put this guy together. But without further ado, this thing's finally in my possession now. So let's make it official. Hell yes. Oh shit. Yes. That's it. Whew. Devastator. All the Constructicons. Never ever did I own this figure in my entire life. Check that logo. This ain't no cheap Chinese knockoff. Well, now I know why my parents couldn't find it in '87. It was probably off the shelves long before then. Wow. Man, it looks mint too. I mean, just from the first glimpse I'm getting there. Ah, look, it spins. We got concrete. Oh, look, they got instructions. You know, like seriously, I feel like a mark. But I was thinking, I was like, when I open this thing, I'm gonna have to look up a tutorial on how to put his ass together because I've never done it before. I never had him. This is something that I've been really excited about. I paid quite a bit for this wrapping paper, so I'm a little hesitant to rip this open, but gots to do it. Woo! Get off of it. Oh, very carefully. Oh, look at that. Done fucked it up. Well, I'm not planning on selling it anyway. So, this is the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con collector's case of NECA's cartoon line of the Ninja Turtles. These are kind of HD, I suppose you could say, and they're crafted to look just like the characters from classic '87 cartoon, which is my shit, my era. And there's 8 figures in here, and to be honest, I've been eyeballing this for probably about 3 years, and I've been wanting to buy it. And I've held off up until now because I knew if I bought this one, I was going to get bit and I'd be collecting the whole line, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. So I definitely got the bug on this line, but I don't regret it because each package that's shown up has just made me more and more happy. And now I finally get to crack this bad boy open and take a look at it. Been eyeballing this thing for a couple of years. Now we finally get to see it. Every once in a while, I'd look at them on eBay, and I'm like, nope, 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 nope. Not gonna do it. Well, that ended this year. The figure in this set that got my attention the most when I very first saw this line, Shredder. Look at how badass and how accurate to that '87 cartoon he looks. If you guys remember the original Playmates figures from the '80s, yeah, this is Shredder. Not that shit we had back then. I hated that old figure. I was like, who the hell is this supposed to be? Like, he looked better than that in the 8-bit video game. We got Krang. Get this light situated. Okay. And got a comm link. A couple foot soldiers. Look at Krang on that comm link. That is hilarious. He's almost overall my favorite character in that whole show. Pat Fraley is hilarious, the voice. Oh boy. This has definitely been a retro-themed Christmas. We got Transformers, we got Ninja Turtles, got an NES game. I'm happy. Like, seriously, this is how I felt when I was a kid. You know, and that feeling's never gone away. It's just been lying dormant because there's only so many new pairs of socks you can get. It's like, you appreciate the gifts that people get you, but none of that stuff has the kind of magic that we remember from those old days. And we are going to have a lot of fun with these guys. I've been collecting like crazy already on this line. Getting every single one that I want, especially from those earlier episodes. Those were my favorite. This is what I call a badass Christmas. Let me put in a candidate here for the stupid, typical YouTube thumbnail. Hold on, how can I do this here?
About time, you fuckwad. Knew you couldn't pass up on my stew.
This stuffing with that chicken broth is the best shit ever. Just like Christmas in the 80s, man. Because sometimes an emulator just doesn't quite cut it. We need this guy to bring back that old feeling again. Listen. Well, for old time's sake. Now it's the 80s. There it is. There it is, man. Just like the old days. Oh, it gives me goosebumps. Let's do this. Yes, ma'am. Let's go buy a white crystal. Well, she told me to. I guess we better do that. And now I have no money. Need to build up some hearts so I can buy some holy water. Which is just weird that it makes you pay for that. I mean, you're like the savior, right? Why should you have to buy holy water? I mean, that should be like presented to you. And have to buy with hearts, no less. We only have 16. I'm used to that mod, that ×2 mod. Whew. Well, this is gonna be a minute. Alright, now we can get some hearts. Watching that pause screen, the transition from day to night, it reminds me of a comment somebody left on my Simon's Quest review and walkthrough I did a few years ago, because I was using the modded version, and somebody told me that, I mean, they actually sounded emotional, like actually angry about it, talking about how sacrilegious it is to play a version of this game where the dialogue box doesn't pop up and stop you and transition to night and day. And I couldn't help but laugh when I read that. Not in a mocking, like making fun of them kind of way, but I couldn't help but admire the passion, I guess, because that was sincerely a heartfelt comment. They were really upset about that. And I think I replied, it's like, you know, we're testing out mods, blah, 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 but, I mean, you always have the original version to play. Huh. I've got enough hearts now. I know I've talked about it a lot on my reviews and walkthroughs and stuff, but man, the nostalgic rush Not only when I play the old school NES games, but this one in particular, so strong. And I can't really explain it other than this was a game that I spent a great deal of time with as a kid. You know, the first 3 Castlevania games on the NES are all classics. I love playing through all 3 of them, as evidenced by the 3 walkthroughs I did. But this one has a special place above the rest of them for sure. There it is, man. We process it. That's right. This little shield here. You know, seriously, I really just thought that I was going to show this for a second or two, but I'm going to sit here and play the whole game. I know I am. And why not? What better day? It's my favorite theme in just about any video game, I think. That covers a lot of ground, but I believe it's the one that evokes the most nostalgia and emotion. Best Christmas ever, man. I love this. Let's see. Rock and roll, baby. Got Linda Hamilton here writing that blog. Fucking A. Well, I recently read something. They talked about the angry video game nerd, and they're like, I guess some people just aren't, what did they say? Some people just aren't wired, for old school Nintendo games. Seriously. Very, very beatable game. If you think it's unbeatable, you're listening to the wrong people. Check out my video. You can beat it. So this is from my buddy Kurt, and he specified, this is my real name, by the way, in case you didn't know. People see it and they think it's because of the cosplay stuff. No, it really is. But he was very specific, told me not to open this until after everything was done. So Getting ready to find out why. I'm very curious about this. You know what it is? Something's on card. Inside joke. It's a piece of cardboard. Oh wait, there's something in it. I hope it's not a picture of his balls or something. Yo. Oh, sweet. Labels for Devastator. Check that out. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Because part of me, you know, is going to be hesitant to post this video because I don't want it to be like I'm showing off my stuff. You know what I mean? That's one thing. But it's like I really want to share this idea, you know, this retro-themed Christmas, because I think it'll make people stop and think. They're like, yeah, you know, he's got a point. I mean, when you're not a kid anymore, I mean, Christmas is just kind of this cyclical thing that you do. I mean, for people who have kids, I'm sure it's, you know, more special because they get to live vicariously through them. But it's like, where's the inner magic from when they were kids? They still can't feel that core feeling when you're a kid and you're like looking under the tree for 2 months or a solid month, you know, waiting and anticipation to open whatever it is you think is under there. You know, I mean, I guess parents still do it that way. Some put their stuff out like the night before, but I always had to sit and look at it. And I would get the stuff wrapped up and it's like, I'm like, this feels like a Super Nintendo game, you know, or an NES game going back even further. But anyway, and that was the goal for this year. We wanted to make Christmas magical again. Mission accomplished. I hope everybody out there had a safe, happy holiday season. Enjoy the new year. Be kind to one another. And always remember, feed your passion. Take it easy.